Hey guys, do you know what's fun? Neither do I apparently. Take it away, Ray, and ruin my day.
We're now going to go to a clip of a real live atheist.
Somehow I doubt that. I said at the end of the last one of these, but if this guy's not either just someone Ray knows pretending to be his straw man version of an atheist, or just not the smartest non-believer on the face of the planet, I'ma be ultra double mega shocked with a side of surprise salad. A surprise salad is when you stick a fork into one of those baby tomatoes, only to discover it's the nose of a tiny clown. And the clown doesn't even try to kill you. What kind of clown isn't a murderer?
We found one, Kirk.
You did?
Yeah. So watch what happens. There's 3 things to look for.
The 3 things I look for in anyone Ray is interviewing is 1, a consistent baffled expression because none of his questions make any sense. 2, the shocked expression that Ray is making arguments that were old and debunked when he made them originally. And 3, attempting not to pass out from the stank of the bullpat spewing forth from Ray's face.
1, watch for the fact that he changes his mind about the existence of God when we reason with him.
As if that's liable to happen with every single person that you present these arguments to. One person a trend does not make. And I'm not convinced that'll be what actually happens here anyway. I mean, are we going to establish everything this person believes before diving into Ray's brand of smart TM questions? I doubt it. Also, what's the chances that Ray is going to confuse I don't believe in God and God could exist as being opposite positions, even though they aren't mutually exclusive? I mean, I don't believe that there's any brain cells in Ray's head, but they could be there. Just not ones belonging to him.
2, watch for that deliberate swing to address his conscience, where we say, do you consider yourself to be a good person?
I'm honestly not sure what you're trying to even say here. Swing to what? From what? You don't need to believe in God to be good. Although you do have to eat an awful lot of babies if you don't.
And then 3, watch when the 10 Commandments, the law does its work in pressing against his conscience and causes him to begin to justify himself once he realizes he's done wrong.
Wait, are you saying that the 10 Commandments are innate? What are you, stupid? Sorry, that's a silly question. What are you, stupid? Than I thought? And really though, most, well, the relevant to anyone ones, of the 10 Commandments are really just basic human morality. I'm not planning on going into again why having human morals is something that makes sense to happen as a result of evolution. But the fact that those commandments miss out on loads of stuff that is way more important. I mean, it doesn't even have one about constantly feeding me whiskey. He knows if I'm sober for too long, I start planning the destruction of the universe. Stupid God.
That's right.
Oof, that awkward silence though. Anyway, time to throw some shapes. That was fun.
Why are you an atheist?
Because you told me to, Ray. Remember, you gave me $5 and promised sexy time with your wife. Wow, no, she promised me sexy time. In fact, she said that before you and I even met. Come to think of it, Ray, I think your wife might be cheating on you, mate. Might want to watch out for that. I'm not trying to be mean to the guy, but you can tell Ray picked someone who couldn't answer him beat for beat. That doesn't actually mean he's stupid, but some people just aren't amazing speakers. I think Ray could have picked someone quicker on the draw, or just cut out the dead air with editing. But he didn't, for some reason.
My beliefs, I look at things very practically speaking, I guess. I like to have proof that things are the way they are. So it's hard for me to just take some information that someone tells me and believe that it's true unless I have proof.
Okay, that's very fair. I might have to eat that surprise clown salad. I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what's wrong with that though. I mean, are you going to give him some proof? Or are you going to give him really poorly worded questions in order to confuse the poor guy and then proclaim your victory against all of atheism?
Do you have a car?
Yeah.
What make is it?
Ford?
Ford made it?
Ford made it?
Yeah, did they make your car? They're the maker?
Right.
Do Do you believe a car happened by accident?
Ouch, that was painful to listen to. Ray, please don't do what you're about to do, I beg of you. It's not a good point. It's never been a good point. And just because the man is going to be confused as hell as to what you are even talking about, doesn't mean you've done a smart. In fact, quite the opposite.
Could you believe that no one made the car?
No, I don't believe that.
So obviously everything made like a car has a maker.
Right, Ray. Everything made like a car, as in everything that has facilities that make them, everything that is made by people is made by people. I know this series is belabouring the same point over and over again, but don't blame me. Ray's the one who thought he actually had a good idea, instead of just the random series of goat screams that actually echo around that cavernous void that is his head, and he just can't stop saying it in ever more convoluted ways.
When you look at creation, don't you think to yourself there must be a creator? There's flowers, birds, trees, sun, moon, stars, there's seasons.
Okay then, find me manufacturing plants for all those things, especially the plant manufacturing plant, because that's kind of hilarious. And no, having a place where we grow plants is not the same thing. He means that they are made like a car. It's what he said. It's not even close, Ray. It's like comparing apples and oranges just because they're fruit, or cars and bicycles just because they're vehicles, or Sir Sick and insert attractive famous person here just because we are both so good looking. They aren't half as famous as me, because I've never heard of them. Any of them, actually. For God's sake, I said insert attractive famous person here. Yes, it is nice living under my rock, thank you.
The human eye, the mind, everything has intricacies, and it's wonderfully made, and it has order from atom right up through the universe. Don't you think someone who said no one made the car would be lacking in brainery?
Lacking in brainery. I like that, Ray. I'll have to remember that one the next time you say almost anything. Because, well, it's pretty perfect as far as descriptors go, isn't it? Thank you. At least now you can die in the knowledge that you did contribute something to the world. And I'm not even saying that he invented the phrase, just that I hadn't heard it, and now I have. Which is, of course, a big deal. Just like me.
For someone to say no one created creation just doesn't make sense. It's not logical.
Well, only insofar as you calling it a creation. How about you stop using that word? Now, if you say no one created reality or the universe, those aren't words that require some kind of createe. Like, say, calling a rock hand-carved by nature gives nature more agency than it has, as nature doesn't have hands or any other limbs, and didn't choose to make that rock happen. When, if it's just a rock formed from erosion among the other processes, that doesn't add to that anthropomorphic edge, so it can just be a rock.
Do you think that's a fair argument?
Not even remotely. Do you, Ray? Because if you do, I think you might be lacking in brainery. Thanks everyone, I came up with it myself from my big smart boy brain. Please feel free to shower me with cash and lingerie, like the rock star of smart that I clearly am.
Yeah, I think there's a point where you have to step back and just say, well, okay, maybe someone did create all of the elements around us, but I think that I believe that evolution did take place.
Ugh, that changes his mind thing. Maybe, Ray, he didn't change his mind. Maybe he was arguing with intellectual honesty. Something that you can't do, apparently, you jumped up little brat. Otherwise, you would have said it to his face, and he would probably have informed you that no, he just thinks that you can't know if someone did or didn't create the universe, because as we are, that fact is unknowable. Up until this point, you've just been moronic. Now you show your true colours as the duplicitous little dirtbag that you are.
And I think you can always step back before evolution and say, well, someone put all those elements in place in order for evolution to take place.
Yeah, that's not an admission of you being correct. That's an admission of not knowing. Doesn't mean he suddenly believes the same BS that you do.
Would you consider yourself to be a good person?
Yes.
Can I ask you a few questions to see if it's true?
Sure.
Okay, what the hell is the swing about? Is it the fact that he moves slightly? He's been moving this whole time. In fact, I bet the reason that you cut there is because he was probably doing those deliberate swings well before you asked the question. But let's just say he did move away because of the question. Well, so what? Someone asks you if you think you are a good person. It's completely natural to be on your guard. And just outright necessary when you're dealing with someone like Ray, who is likely to use weaselly nonsense in an attempt to show you up.
Have you ever told a lie?
Sure.
Okay, what does that make you?
A liar.
Have you ever stolen something?
Literally everyone ever has told a lie. A liar is someone who constantly tells lies. I wonder if we have any examples here, Ray. And under that logic, telling the truth just once makes you a truther. No, not the conspiracy kind, for God's sake.
As a kid,
What does that make you?
I guess a thief.
Man, in Ray's little world, you do one bad thing once and you are branded with that crime forever. Have whatever it is tattooed across your head or something. You really ought to consider the consequences for that, lest you end up getting lying dumbass written on your face for life.
Have you ever used God's name in vain?
Sure.
For God's sake, man, why in Christ's name would you use God's name in vain? Jesus, how could you do that? God damn it.
Okay, that's using God's name as a cuss word. It's called blasphemy.
Shut up, Ray. Who gives a single goddamn crap about blasphemy? Blasphemy is breaking the law of hurting someone's feelings. In fact, no, it's hurting someone's apparently all-powerful, invisible friend's feelings. But they can't take a mild insult. How very powerful of them. Blasphemy, for the most part, in most countries, is completely irrelevant. And thank God in Christ for that, because anyone who thinks it should be a crime to say certain words are just the dumbest mother lovers on the planet. Fight me.
And the final question is, in this respect, Jesus said whoever looks at a woman and lusts after her has committed adultery already with her in his heart.
Well then, Jesus was an idiot. Thought should never, ever be taken as equal to action. You know why? Because if you make thinking something the exact same thing as doing it, then, well, I thought it, might as well go the whole way. In for a penny, in for a pound. And that's if you even give adultery the same kind of weight as an actual crime, which is stupid because really you want to legislate any and all relationships between consenting adults. I think the phrase beginning with an F and ending with an uck off is about the only response needed to that trash opinion.
Have you ever looked at a woman with lust?
Sure.
Okay, Chris, by your own admission, you're a lying, thieving, blasphemous adulterer at heart.
No, by your ridiculous standards, that's what he is. But your standards are completely idiotic. I mean, if the Ten Commandments are your judgment for goodness, then if he were an abusive spouse to his wife, but he never thought about another woman, well then, sorry boss, he's a good person. Pfft, I don't think so.
And you got to face God on Judgment Day.
Those are just words.
You got to face God on Judgment Day.
He's got you there, mate. I like the fact that you ignored it. And face God on Judgment Day. Why? He doesn't think your God exists, even if you want to take his fair admission of not knowing if there is a creator as proof positive that he believes in a God. It in absolutely no way means he believes in your or any of the man-made gods.
Whether you believe in him or not,
Whether you believe in him or not, you can't even prove yours exists, you absolute melt.
and here's a big if God judges you by the Ten Commandments on the Day of Judgment,
Then he would be just about the worst freaking judge of anybody. How many absolutely horrible crimes exist that are simply not covered by the Ten Commandments? You do none of those, but you think about a waitress that looks attractive that one time and, well, straight to hell with you. But a monster who did everything but break those 10 rules? Well, he's a good boy. Heaven pass for you, bro. You God's people.
would you be innocent or guilty if he did?
Who cares? It's irrelevant and you're a moron.
Well, if all that's true, I'm guilty.
Would you go to heaven or hell?
I guess if you believe in all that and it's all true, I'm going to hell.
Now, does that concern you?
No, because I don't believe any of that's true.
You know what? I feel like I was unfair to this guy. He was probably just nervous earlier, but I think he's held himself pretty well so far. I mean, perhaps later he will let the side down, but we are just going to have to see about that another day. I have had quite enough of Ray's gibberish, trickery, and outright lies for one video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye! Guys, don't forget to panic buy sick brand merch. What if you need to let people know that you were handsome, famous and good at the sex in a variety of tasteful colours? Buy as many as you can afford now before this thing that's printed to order runs out. Also, you can use it as toilet paper if needs be. You never know when you're going to need to wipe your arse.